This is a video on the 3 quizzes we had throughout the semester. Well, as you'll see on my learning portfolio, my first quiz was not so great. I got an 8 out of 15. And the story behind that mark is actually pretty significant because during that week that we had the first quiz, I was so stressed out. I remember I had 2 tests the same week, and I just had a whole bunch of assignments due. And I thought that I would be able to go over the 2 chapters within 30 minutes and do the quiz. Well, I was wrong. I knew I did terrible on it right when I submitted it, and I was really just hoping for a pass. And when I got my mark back, at first I was really happy because I passed when I thought I was going to completely fail, but I also was very disappointed in myself. That's not like me. I remember in high school, if I even would get a 75 on something, I would be very upset with it. It wasn't good enough for me. And what I realized in that moment was that why am I so happy about an 8 out of 15? That's not acceptable. I need to know this stuff. I need to know the vocabulary. This will help me in the long run. I can't fall behind and try to make shortcuts for myself. So that first quiz was really an eye-opener for me, not just for this course, but for all my other courses. I need to have high standards. I'm not going to set my standards low. That's not like me, and that won't get me far in life. It won't get me far in my job. It won't get me far in anything, pretty much. So I'm very thankful that I took that quiz and I got that low of a mark because my motivation just skyrocketed after that. As you'll see, my next 2 quizzes, they were significantly better. I got 14 out of 15 and 13 out of 15. And I guess that shows my improvement. I remember it took me maybe 3 days to study for one of the quizzes. But within those 3 days, I wasn't trying to memorize anything. I wasn't trying to take shortcuts. I was actually understanding everything, and I enjoyed learning all the new vocabulary. For example, this is something insignificant, but it also means something for me. I was in the hospital with my dad, and he was asking me, he's like, where is the intensive care unit? And I see ICU on the side, and it's pointed in the right direction. And my dad was looking at it, he didn't understand what was what, and I understood and I knew where to go. Even though that's something very small, it means I actually learned something, and it will build off of that. So what I got from these quizzes is that hard work pays off, and you need to work hard in order to succeed. This will help me with my final exam for this course as well as all the other 4 courses I have. I need to set my standards high. I need to manage my time way better, and I need to try to enjoy what I'm learning. I need to understand it better, because then I'll do better on the exam or the test or the quiz or whatever it is. Because I remember in high school I would try to get by memorizing stuff and the shortcuts and abbreviations, but that makes it 10 times more harder for myself. Why not just understand something, and why not get tested on something that you know? It's so simple, but people don't realize that it does take time and effort, but it's worth it. And even though I did get a bad mark on my first quiz, which will affect my mark in the long run, I'm happy it happened because it opened my eyes and it regained my motivation to do well and bring back the person that I used to be, of just wanting to do better than I can, do the best I can, and have high standards. So I think the 55% is a blessing in disguise, and I learned from that. And I just hope I don't go back into that same route I was before, when I was just rooting for a 50. And I don't see myself doing that again, because even though this little quiz changed my whole perspective of studying and doing well, significantly, it means a lot to me. So I'm happy about that 55, and without it, I wouldn't have got the 13 out of 15 or the 14 out of 15.